All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here, talking about real music in real time for real people just like you and just like me. So here we are again. Want to thank one of my patrons, Joey G, who is very determined to send me links about Styx. He knows my feelings regarding Styx. He's on the same page with me. Thus, if you'd like to converse with me about Styx, you can join Patreon for just $1 a month. I am going to be leaving Facebook shortly. I do have a few friends over there on Facebook. I'm thinking about going over to Parler, so maybe I'll send you a link to Parler at some point where you can find me over there. But in any event, Styx, who continue to really hype up their recent history, while kind of talking about, the stuff that really made them a very successful band. I mean, are they worthy of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Yes. But certainly there is a member who is not in this particular photograph who ought to be there. Actually, there are two. One who's no longer on planet Earth, and the other one is Dennis DeYoung. And, I don't know, Glenn Burtnick? Nah, probably not. So, let's take a look at this. So this is an interactive live event that's going to be happening. It's not a concert. It's a Q&A. KLOS and the Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp presents Front Row Live, a live online interactive Q&A event with Styx. Chat and interact live with the members. There are only 25 spots available at $350 a pop. And then everybody else for $25, I guess, can just watch. Okay. A portion of the proceeds will benefit the road crew of the band Styx. So that's a good thing. Let's highlight the good when there is good. All right. Harmony, chemistry, balance, grit, dexterity, determination, solidarity. Terms that describe a Super Bowl champion? Well, almost. These are the words that define the core essence of Styx. How is harmony and chemistry and solidarity, how are those words even there? Look, I know this new lineup, they love each other. Todd Sucherman and Ricky Phillips, I wish they weren't in this band. You know why? Because they deserve better. They deserve better. They deserve to be in a better band. They also deserve to be in a band that doesn't desert, and I don't mean that in the eating extra food at the end of the meal, a band that does not desert their founding architect, genius, guy who can write songs with, two hands tied behind his back and so forth, the guy who made more money for the group than Tommy and JY put together. Can we say that, maybe? Anyway, never known for resting on their laurels, Styx have now added, and again, this is 3 years ago. They're talking again about the mission. I like the mission. I've done videos saying I like it. I didn't want to like it. It's good. It's a good record. But they call it the most ambitious, most challenging, and most rewarding release to date. I don't know. I had Paradise Theater and the Grand Illusion, and I have to tell you, those are better albums. Yeah, I'm just saying. They're better albums, and probably there are a couple of others that I would have to kind of re-listen to from start to finish, but yeah, the planets truly aligned for the mission, and I couldn't be prouder. So, again, 3 years later, we're still talking about this record that few people listened to. And by the way, KLOS, I can guarantee you, the radio station, they didn't play the mission. Nope. Maybe they played a song once. Maybe they did a little outro or something after an interview like this. You would think they would play something off the mission. But it's not in their regular rotation. You're not going to hear this album anywhere on planet Earth in regular rotation. And by the way, I'm not blaming Styx for that. I'm saying you just don't have the support system that you used to have. And it's tragic when, radio stations do interviews and they talk about, hey, you've got a new album out. Yeah, you're going to play anything off of that? No, but we'll talk about it. I find that kind of ironic during this entire interview. It just adds another layer to it. So literally I'll scroll for about a minute here, and they're still talking about the mission. They talk about the mission. Everybody in the band gets to talk about the mission for a while. And they keep going. Finally, they get to some of the history, some of the older material. But most of these performances are post-Dennis DeYoung. All right? And they just talk about all the, live at the Orleans Arena, Las Vegas. The Grand Illusion, Pieces of 8, 2011. They're talking about all the things that they did post-Dennis DeYoung. The band's live proficiency comes through commitment, preparation, and an unbending devotion to artistry. Oh my gosh. So finally, about halfway down here, they get to talking about the guy that they don't want to talk about. JY and Tommy wanted to keep their renewed momentum intact. Really? There wasn't much renewed momentum following Cyclorama and that covers album they did. There was zero momentum, I would have to say. None. Anyway, I'm fired up because I read this and I just go, this is just a fake narrative. This is fake news, folks. This is what fake news looks like. But to move ahead, they had to part ways with founding member Dennis DeYoung, the man behind some of the band's most indelible hits, including Lady, The Grand Illusion, and Come Sail Away, because the collective chemistry had changed. All right, so let's fix the narrative a little bit here. In the 90s, by the way, Dennis, Tommy, and JY were trying to get this band back together again in the late 80s. All right, they had reached an agreement basically that they were going to get back together again. Dennis was working on a solo album for MCA Records. He was doing videos and so forth. He's told this firsthand, and I was kind of there in 1989, so I remember some of this. And then the damn Yankees come along. By the way, great band, Tommy Shaw. See, I'm an equal opportunity enjoyer of good music. So damn Yankees comes along, and JY says, hey, let's just do this. And they did it with Glenn Burtnick. They put Styx back together again, and you have top 10 songs, Show Me the Way. All right? So, again, even without Tommy, it worked. So, I don't know about the chemistry in 1990. It seemed pretty good. That album did fairly well, but obviously not well enough for the record label. And, of course, the grunge apocalypse was coming. It says here, Dennis led the charge to the top of the charts, says JY. Almost saying this like it's, okay, so Dennis could write hits. He's an incredible singer. Good. That's good. See, again, that's a positive thing. A motivated writer who wrote some great lyrics and one very strong keyboard player. But here we go again. He just didn't want to be part of a democracy. Yeah, they try. All right, so again, he doesn't want to be part of a democracy. He doesn't like to tour. See, this time they used, he didn't want to be part of a democracy. Other times, they say he just doesn't like to tour. Hey, here's what happened. Dennis got sick. He got light sensitive. He said, guys, wait, I'll be back. Wait. And, now he wears glasses, sunglasses all the time. I mean, he had something that was probably worse than COVID-19. And it really set him back. It hit him hard. They never mentioned that. They do say we truly wish him well. We did some incredible work together, but there's no basis for us to work together again. Au contraire, JY. All Dennis wants is a reunion concert. A reunion tour, maybe. Or a few concerts. I would say you guys would make a lot more money than $350 times 25, and then $25 for every person that logs on to hear the Q&A. And that's just dumb. Who wants to hear a Q&A? I don't want to pay money to hear a Q&A. You know, you go on YouTube, Dennis DeYoung will talk for like an hour on YouTube. He'll do interviews where he'll give you insights and details, and guess what? You don't have to pay any money. Now, if you guys were playing music, and it wasn't like, you know, JY is in Toledo, and Tommy is in Chicago, and Todd is in Los Angeles, and we're doing this production where it basically sounds like a studio recording, because everything is mixed and it's not live. It's made to look live. That's what all these quarantine videos have been. That's why I came down on Peter Frampton and the Doobie Brothers. I'm like, this sounds like a record. This sounds like a recording. This doesn't sound like a live performance. So, again, another article. I'm not going to keep going here. This goes on and on. But this is the only part where they talk about Dennis. And yet again, they throw Dennis DeYoung under the bus. They have backed that bus up. They've driven it over. Then they back it up again. And then they say crap that isn't true. He just didn't want to be part of a democracy. That's not true. That's not true. Look, you can ignore this all you want. You can talk about the mission for like 80% of the article. It's an album people aren't really going to see you for. Okay, yes, there are some that love this incarnation of the band. All right, but again, you've got a lead vocalist who plays keyboards who sounds nothing like Dennis DeYoung. And I'll keep saying that till I'm blue in the face. He may be a really nice guy. I've got a patron who's up in Toronto. I think his name is Tommy. He's been talking to me recently. He likes Gowan. A lot of Canadians like Gowan. I don't dislike him. To me, he just doesn't fit in with this group. There's like 20 other singers that are singing in the melodic rock world who would have been a better pick. No, I know you needed a guy who played keyboards. You needed a guy who was flamboyant, apparently, who spins the keyboard around, does all this stuff. All you needed, really, was a guy who sounded like Dennis and who could play keyboards. All right? And somebody who was humble and did their job and tried to kind of keep that sound together. I don't hear it. Vocally, it's just way, way different from what Dennis used to do. And nobody really talks about that. They just say, yeah, listen to the mission. I mean, imagine if Styx had sat down with Dennis and tried to do the mission together. And by the way, Jim's got friends in high places. He's got Jim Peterick. And Styx being produced by Jim Peterick would have been a home run, would have been a grand slam home run. But instead, you know, Will Evankovich and all of this, it's not bad. It's good. I didn't dislike it. 2017, though, it's over. It's over. We're almost at 2021. I know there's new music in the can, and I'm sure you guys will come out with it as soon as Dr. Fauci gives you the okay, which I find hysterical. Absolutely hysterical. There are states right now where you can go and perform concerts. And you could do way better than this 350 times 12 thing, even if you space people apart, even if you do like dinner seating plans and so forth. It's just not creative and scared and timid and all this stuff. And again, making people fearful for the rest of their lives. But I don't want to make this video about that particular issue. So I'm done. Again, Patreon for $1 a month. Joey G, thanks, brother. Good stuff, as usual. And Styx, again, driving that bus, backing it up one more time over Dennis DeYoung. That's it. I'll see you soon.